4th and 8th grade students. National educators are blaming the decrease on the obstacles that students faced over the course of the pandemic, in school, out of school, virtual learning, that 2020 school year that was cut short. Add to that Tennessee's newest list of the lowest performing schools across the state. 101 schools in 12 districts. The Tennessee Department of Education is calling them priority schools because academically they rank at the bottom 5% of all schools. It's not just the scores, but it's the impact on students that's motivating one group of Nashville parents, because they say those failing scores, those failing schools disproportionately impact our black and brown families and, of course, our black and brown children. Please welcome to the show Sonya Thomas. She is the executive director of PROPEL. PROPEL stands for Parents Requiring Our Public Education System to Lead. Thank you so much for being with us today, Sonya.
Thank you for having me.
Talk just a little bit about those recent numbers. Let's start there, and then we'll get into the goods about PROPEL. But you heard those statistics, both across the country, nationally, where those math and reading scores are low. That's, of course, in Tennessee as well. And then the schools that are struggling across our state, and particularly here in Nashville. What went through your mind when you heard those numbers?
That national report card is a prophecy. We've been knowing for decades that black children in particular are struggling in reading and mathematics. So this happened far before the pandemic. And the pandemic, all it did was just amplify the voices of parents like myself who have been sounding the alarm for many years.
Parents have been sounding the alarm. PROPEL has been sounding the alarm. Talk a little bit about how PROPEL got started and how you got into this group.
So Nashville PROPEL started in October of 2018. And before that, I was just somebody's mom. And I was fighting for my child just like any other parent was fighting. I realized that my son was having a struggle at a young age. And so I would go to the school and I would ask, hey, you know, is everything okay? How can I help him? And I was doing everything that I could to fight for him. And I can remember, you know, being told that interventions were being put in place for him, and, you know, that he was working hard, and, you know, I needed to read to him for 30 minutes. And as I went through a parent advocacy fellowship back in July of 2018, I learned about the landscape of education in Nashville. And that's when I realized I was not alone, that I was not the only parent walking around thinking I was crazy, because I'm fighting and doing what I need to do for my child. And I realized that we had priority schools and we had low-performing schools, and guess who was going to those schools?
Your children.
My children were going to those schools along with other parents across the city. And so I looked for a better choice for my son, and I found a school that I thought would fit for him. And the very first report card, I sat across from his teacher, who told me that he was in the 7th grade and he was reading on a 2nd grade reading level.
Did you not catch that, or did you? Well, obviously you caught it because you showed up at the school and you said, hey, what's going on here? But was it the grades that alerted you? Was it the fact that he wasn't being taught certain things? What were you seeing with your son that kind of really said, an aha moment, opened your eyes, something's not right here?
So I have 4 children, and he was the youngest, and so I realized he was brilliant also, but he was struggling. He would bring homework home and not understand the homework. So that was a red flag, right? I'm like, okay, you've been in school all day, but you don't understand. And then it wasn't that he didn't sound like he couldn't read. He could not comprehend anything that he was reading. So we would have to have discussion after discussion about his work. And this followed him all through, 6th grade, where literally we're having to have discussions about his work, and everybody in the house is crying. We use homework hotline, we use Khan Academy. Like, we were doing everything we could to fight for him, but also what we saw was like his confidence was decreasing. So that was a red flag. He felt dumb, but he wasn't dumb.
Absolutely not. So when you approach teachers about it and they said, oh, we've got interventions in place, what does that mean?
At the time, I didn't even know to ask what that means. I trusted. I trusted that whatever they were doing for him, that I was sending my very best in those classrooms, and that they were giving their very best. And that's not to say that they weren't giving their very best. It's to say that the system is failing a lot of children. I just believe that most people get up in the morning and want to do what's best for children, but something's not working in the entire system when we look at the data, which is our receipt, which is our prophecy.
You took your story, your personal experience, your students' experience, and turned it into this Nashville PROPEL because you found other parents struggling too. What did you find? How many folks were out there dealing with this same kind of situation where their kids were struggling and they felt like they had no help for them?
So myself and the co-founders of Nashville PROPEL, we started door knocking. We had these ugly little yellow T-shirts that we wore over our work clothes, and we would go to Sam Levy and different neighborhoods, and we would ask them simply, do you know what a priority school is? And those parents had no earthly idea that those were schools that were ranked in the bottom 5% in the state in literacy and math, and their children were either zoned or attending those schools.
So no choices to change school per se because that was the neighborhood school.
I always say when black folk don't have a choice, we die. And we died of physical death, social, economically, health care. We die. We must have a choice. And those parents did not have an exit ramp out of this situation. They were stuck in the lowest performing schools right here in the state of Tennessee.
So if the students are struggling, parents like you are pushing hard to find the fix. Teachers are working with you to find the fix. Where's the problem?
The problem is when you look at literacy per se, what we're realizing, like those of us who are advocating and those who are in education are realizing that for many years children have been taught incorrectly how to read. They have been given literacy skills that are about memorization and not literacy skills that are based on research. None of us are set up to read. We don't have a brain that's set up to read. Most of us do not have the brain capability to read the English language, and so it takes certain skills to teach children. You have about 5% of all human beings who can just pick up reading like that. But most people need implicit instruction around phonics and phonemic awareness and fluency and comprehension, and they need to be able to decode words. Now, what is decoding? Meaning they need to be able to read a word quickly and understand that word by third grade, or they'll be a struggling reader.
So reading, though, starts early in life. I mean, some would say you read to your children when they're very young. There are situations, I taught my children to read before school started. So where does that start? Are you expected to know how to read before school starts, or are you requiring teachers to teach those kids how to read at the very beginning if those basics are missing at the core?
So I always tell parents, reading to your children, like, that is fine, but it does not teach them how to read. It does not guarantee them to know how to read. The first thing that has to happen is our educators need to be given the tools they need. There is not a course that they're taking in the colleges and universities that they attend that actually teaches them how to teach reading. So to expect a parent to be able to teach a child how to read is nearly impossible. Like I said, if there are children who are learning how to read quickly, it's because they're in that 5% of people who kind of catch it. Most people are unable to catch reading. So reading to your children when they're little, that's great. Keep doing that. But once they hit kindergarten, what should be happening is everything that they can say, they should be learning how to read. And if that's not happening, that's a red flag.
So when you look at these numbers, especially for fourth graders and eighth graders, by fourth grade, they should have already been learning all these things along the way, the basic math, the basic reading. And when you look again at eighth grade, well, that's because they didn't get it early on, too. What is that telling you about what's happening in our schools and how our children are being taught or not taught?
What that's telling us is we're not making sure that children have the foundational skills before we pass them on. Now, that is not a child's fault. I always ask, how do we know the difference between a struggling reader and poor instruction? I always ask parents to question everything and everyone. There you're going to find the truth. We have to make sure before our children leave second grade, they're on track. They're on track and they're decoding before they get to third grade. It's too late when they get to third grade and fourth grade and eighth grade, because what you start to see is comprehension problems. So you may not hear like a fluency problem with your child, you may see that they're having trouble with comprehension. Many adults and people that I talk to, they agree to this. They're like, I can't comprehend. I have to read things over and over again. I myself have a reading comprehension issue. It's because I was not giving the phonics and the phonemic awareness, the sound to letter skills that I needed to quickly read a word and understand the word so I can read a passage. Therefore, if children don't get that, they're unable to learn the way that they need to learn as they progress through school.
Let's take a quick break when we come back, because these issues impact all families for sure, but our black and brown families in particular. And I want to talk a little bit about what you're finding from parents of color, students of color who are struggling through the school system. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us.